Hi everyone, welcome to Clutch Entertainment today. Today we have Luis and he's on the show. We're going to talk about Honduran culture and some like Latin American culture. What do you do for a living?
Hey everybody, hi Philip. Well, right now I'm living in France. I am Honduran. I was born in Honduras. I was raised in Honduras. I all my childhood, all my teenage years, I spent in Honduras. But then I went to the US, and now I'm currently in France working for a website that sells kitchen knives. Simple as that. Simple as that.
That's
So
cool.
that's
That's
life
cool.
nowadays.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So,
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'm having fun.
so when did you move out of Honduras?
So I moved out when I was 17 years old, just after high school. High school is a little bit shorter, and in Honduras we have 1 year left, less than you guys in the US. US, I think you go till you're 18, I believe.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
when
Mhm.
yeah. Well, I was 17 when I finished high school in Honduras. So that was what year? I believe that was 2012, January 2012. That's when I left Honduras. I went to St. Charles, Missouri, to Lindenwood. So
That's
that's
where
it.
I met
That's
you
when I
there.
left Honduras. Yeah, exactly, exactly.
So, yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. So, first of all, I got questions like that we're gonna like talk about each topic. So language at first, like what is the main language and like is there like a secondary language?
Well, in Honduras and all Latin America is Spanish. You have a little bit of dialects here and there, but they're not very common, to be honest. Personally, for example, I was born and raised speaking Spanish. I don't really speak another dialect. There are a few dialects back home, but honestly, very few people speak them. And so it's Spanish is overall the big language for us.
Do you have to learn English as like a second language kind of through schooling?
Yes, yes. I actually was very lucky because I went to a school that was bilingual. So I had some courses in English. So since I was a child, even though I was in Honduras, I was already learning some English stuff. That way, when I arrived to the US, I already knew how to defend myself in English. I could have a conversation. So yeah, I was very lucky. I cannot say that's the same case for all Honduran people, but yeah, that was my case. I could learn English through school in Honduras.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
So you're going into education a little bit. So you said there's like 1 year less of high school, you were saying before?
yeah. So here's the thing. So uh, in the basic Honduran style, there's only like you have middle school, the 3 years of middle school, and then you have 2 years of high school. Um, Nowadays there are some new type of schools in Honduras that are more like American type of schools, like where you go to the third year of high school. But
Hmm.
that depends. It's to be very honest with you, those are the more we call them back on like the more high class, rich type of school,
Right.
because the most of those kids will end up going to college in the U.S., not in Honduras. So that's why they do like a more American style. I went to a normal Honduran style high school. So I did 1 year less than people in America do, for example.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Cool. What are some of the
Yeah.
like the cultural norms, like hello, goodbyes, greetings? Like, is there any specific greetings like that you guys do that normal like because Americans we just go up and hi, shake your hand, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, I mean the basic hi and shake your hand, that's acceptable. That's won't be weird back home. That will be acceptable. I have to be very honest with you. Since COVID happened, I don't know if that changed because now I'm in France. So in France, in France you have you kiss like both cheeks, and you do
Yeah,
all this
yeah.
procedure. That's not the case back home. Back home, Honduras and the US are kind of similar in that matter. Um, I don't know. I would say in that aspect, the how you greet somebody, how you meet somebody, we're not that different. We're not that different. Uh, what I've heard from other American friends, and perhaps trying to compare everything, you have to be flexible and understand that there's some sort of humor that comes with Latin people, to make you comfortable, they'll immediately start making jokes and stuff like that. It's not nothing personal. It's not to make fun of you or anything like that. It's just, I think, a way to make people comfortable. So like, that's it. You're part of us. Chill, just let's laugh together. So I think that perhaps might be shocking sometimes. Exactly. But so I think you should know this before dealing with a Latin guy, because if you're not prepared, you might think that they're making fun of you.
Right,
but
right.
that's not really the case. I mean, it's a way of making you comfortable. That's the way I see it.
Kind of like a banter kind of thing.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is there any like rituals or ceremonies or like any kind of like annual holidays that you have?
That's well, we have the national, very specific Honduran holidays for our historic. I don't know. For example, we can talk about in October, the 12th of October. I don't know if in the US you guys celebrate that. It's like when America was discovered, because with all the Spanish conquistadors that came to America, we have those specific national things. Independence Day, it's in September 15th for us. And well, our Independence Day is from Spain. It's not from the UK, so that's also different. And actually, Independence Day in Honduras, we share that with all Central America. So it's Costa Rica, Guatemala, and all that. We all got independence at the same time. At the time, we were one single country, if I'm not mistaken. And then after that, we became Honduras. We became separate countries. And then rituals. I mean, aside the religious rituals, which are kind of similar in the US, I cannot think of anything particularly different. I would say yes, most of the rituals that we perform are religious, but like what I mean is like going to mass, stuff like that. No, it's not.
Gotcha.
That's very close to the American culture, I would say.
Yeah. What about food? Like, is it any particular food? Is it kind of like tailored, kind of like Mexican food? Because
yeah. So yeah, I mean, you have similarities. To be very honest with you, all Latin America, I think you all have this common factor. You always have the tortillas. The tortillas for tacos and stuff like that. You all exactly. You all always have the beans, the rice. Those are I feel that those are the common factors in all Latin America. And then each country kind of like prepares it differently. It's like we have tortillas, but we do it this way. We have beans, but we eat it this way. In Honduras, we have what is called baleadas. It's a flour tortilla where you put smashed fried red beans. It's like a spread, something like that. You add some shredded cheese, some sour cream, and then you can put some scrambled eggs with a little bit of I don't know if you guys call that chorizo. I don't know if you know that. It's some sort of sausage you put inside. Then you just fold it.
They probably just call it sausage or something like that.
Yeah, I think
bacon, so. Something like that.
Yeah. Well, you can put bacon as well.
It sounds good. Right now for breakfast, for me.
We do eat it for breakfast.
Okay.
I won't lie to you. You can eat it for breakfast, but we also eat at dinner. I mean, it's something that we eat the whole day.
Exactly.
But probably when I describe you this, for you it sounds okay, but it sounds very similar to I don't know, to a quesadilla or something like that. I do understand the logic. It sounds similar, but I don't know. It's quesadilla, burrito. Everything. It has the way of being prepared, the way of being consumed. It's different, even though the ingredients are the same. Then yes, I mean similar to Mexican, not quite the same. We eat much less spicy than Mexican.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
What about religion? Like, is Catholicism like primary? Is it Christianity?
Yeah, Christianity, Catholicism being the biggest part, I would say, and then after that, well, all the how do you call it? I think I believe Protestant. It's also Christians, but in Spanish I would say Protestant and Catholic, both from the Christianity, but just branches of Christianity. But yeah, I would say Catholicism is still the biggest one. back home.
Gotcha. What about like values, like moral standards? Is it similar pretty much like all the way around with the US and stuff? Or is there any kind of like,
Um,
and also what's taboo
yeah,
too? What's taboo?
yeah, that's a good question because I, I imagine it has been developed the last years. It has changed during the last years because now we see what people from all around the world does. But morally speaking, it's more conservative type of culture. You know what
More
I mean?
traditional?
Sorry.
Traditional, you said?
Yeah, more traditional. Exactly, more traditional. So it's um I don't mean in a good or a bad way. I just
Right.
just describing it. It's yeah. Sometimes if you compare to, I don't know, the US is so huge, so it's unfair to compare to specific place. But for example, the image that people have from California, where it's very very free, very very wild. Sometimes I don't know if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you
It,
mean.
it's so yeah. No, I would say Honduras. It's still a little bit more traditional. It has changed throughout the years now, so it's not the same as it was 20 years ago. But I would say yeah, it's more conservative overall. It's still I don't know. Yeah, yeah. I think that's the best word. More conservative, more traditional, like you said.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. What about like clothing? Like is the clothing pretty similar?
Well, I think that goes hands to hand with what I just said. It's um for a guy, I think it's pretty much the same. Um, for the ladies, I would say you would see more clothes for
Is it more
Honduran girls
dresses?
than
Like do they wear a lot of dresses, women?
not really, not really. A lot of jeans and stuff like that. However, a lot of jeans, and it's funny because I mean it is quite hot back home, so you would guess you wear a dress, because that's warm, but no, no, not honestly. That's not the memory I have. It's not a lot of dress. It's more a lot of jeans and people do not uncover as much as other Western cultures. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
more
I mean,
modesty, I'd say.
yeah, yeah. That's the right word, modesty. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah. What about like you were talking about just like the weather just now. What's the weather like there?
I mean, Honduras is not that big, but of course, it depends where you are. Where I was from, it's at the north of the country, not far from the Caribbean Sea. Well, it's always hot. It's always hot. Our winter, it's around Christmas, and our winter is like what, like 70 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that. That's our winter, man. So,
Oh wow. That's that's nice. That's a nice December.
yeah, yeah.
You go out there in
So,
shorts.
yeah, man, we are at the beach in Christmas. So yeah, honestly, we do not have winter, spring, or fall. I
You
mean, we do
probably
have a
never
season
see
in which
snow there.
never ever, never ever, never ever. The first time I saw snow was in the U.S. in Missouri.
How was that experience? First seeing snow like that.
To be very honest, yeah, it was really amazing because you're a kid from Honduras, you see that on TV, so that's you're in a movie. The first time I was in a movie, I saw the real snow. That was really, honestly, a great experience. I really like snow. Now I really really like snow.
Awesome, awesome. What about like social hierarchy in government?
Well, government, well, it's a democracy. Like in the
It's
US,
just like
it's
US, the democracy.
yeah, yeah. It's a US. Well, it doesn't have the same system with the Senate and what's the other house?
House?
At the House of Representatives, we
Yeah.
don't have the specific things. We have a Congress, of course, where all the deputies. Um, we have the president above them. It's a standard democracy, I would say. Of course, or perhaps I know, perhaps you and everybody seeing this video, in Latin America, it's a little bit more troublesome. All the
Mm.
governments and all the corruption stuff, but overall, in overall terms, without getting into detail, it's a standard democracy. We every 4 years we change president. I believe it's the same US.
Yeah, it's the same in the US. Yep.
Yeah, every 4 years. But we, however, we do not have this separation. You guys have the federal government, you have the state government. We do not have that. For us, it's just the government, and then that's it.
Gotcha. And what about music? Like, is the music pretty?
Well, we like our music. We like, now we're 2023. Now you can hear music from all around the world without any problem. You got Spotify, you got everything. So of course we hear a lot of pop worldwide music, but we really love our music.
Is it a lot
reggaeton,
of, like, guitar stuff?
I don't know. I would say reggaeton and stuff like it's a lot of that. It's a lot of very urban Caribbean style. Like party type of music.
Gotcha. A lot of
yeah.
Is it like xylophone style? Like
yeah, you have that in a more modern way, because we used to have that also like the traditional way, but now you have it more in like for the young people and stuff like that. So with a more modern beat, if you know, I don't know if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So what about sports?
Well, for us, soccer, like you call it, football.
Yeah.
It's almost a religion back home. Honestly, all other sport other than soccer, it exists, but nobody really cares. That's a little bit sad, to be honest, because I think we should give a chance to everything, to anyone. We even have a baseball team and stuff like that, but nobody really follows it or something like that. Soccer for us, and it's a shame because we're not even that good at soccer. So, but
I always
yeah,
know you loved it. You always was like World Cup.
Man, for me, soccer, it's a big passion, and I'm not the only one. To be honest, I'm not the only one. It's for us, it's a big thing. It's a big thing. We have a saying back home. It's like when you are dining with your family, there are 3 topics that you should never touch or talk about, because you want to avoid the problems. You should never talk about religion. You should never talk about politics. I should never ever talk about soccer. If not, it might end up violent. So.
Gotcha. Is there like an interleague with soccer, like a professional?
Well, yeah, it is. There is a professional national league, and then the best teams of that league then compete in an international tournament, even with US teams from the MLS and all that.
Right.
In the region, in our region, it's always the Mexican and the US teams, the most powerful ones. That's kind of normal. But yes, we do international tournaments and stuff like that. So yeah, it's honest soccer. It's a big thing back home.
Right. So, all right. Well, thank you for your time today, Luis. I really appreciate your insight in the Honduran/Latin American culture. There's a lot.
Thank you, man.
A lot there.
Thank you. Honestly, it's thank you for the invitation, and I hope that your viewers will find all these interesting. And if you have the chance to one day visit Honduras, please go. It's a very beautiful country.
Maybe you'll take me there.
With pleasure. We'll go to the beach, man. You will see. You'll love it.
All right, sounds good. Well, thank you for watching Clutch Entertainment, everyone. This is Philip, and this is Luis. And if you'd like and subscribe, that would be great. And also, if you want to have any questions for Luis, you can comment below, and he can probably try to answer some of the questions. So thank you very much, and have a great rest of your day.